Well, welcome everyone. This is our second episode of our podcast that is still untitled. Hopefully by the time you're watching it, it is titled, but we're going to be talking all things collecting. We got two guys here that absolutely love vintage, and we have an awesome guest, Joel Madden of Good Charlotte. So we're super excited.
Well, that's a band.
It is a
It
band.
sure is.
I'm just,
It's a rock and roll band.
I like John Coltrane is my thing. You know what I mean, man? So I don't know. You probably came around in the 90s, I'm guessing. Maybe
Yeah,
we
we started in 96.
Yeah.
And our first big record that came out was in 2000. So
Okay,
30
so
years as a band.
Pardon me for not to be hip to it.
No, you know what?
Yeah.
It's like trading cards. There's lots of rabbit holes. We're just another rabbit hole in rock and
You're a
roll.
rabbit hole that I'm going to check out.
Yeah.
Through
yeah.
the magic of Apple Music, Spotify. I don't know.
Spotify,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
I'll buy an album.
Yeah.
Because that's worth it.
Oh, I'll give you one.
Oh, look
Even
at you.
better.
I'll sign you a 101.
Oh. If you went
I'll get it
one-on-one, would
graded.
that be the funniest thing?
I'll get AMG to
One-on-one.
grade it.
Yeah. Oh my God,
there
that's
you go.
hilarious.
That's awesome. Well, we
Yeah.
were going to ask you this before the podcast, but obviously we have to talk about it here.
Yeah.
But how did you get into collecting?
Well, I always wanted to collect as a kid, but it was, I didn't have access to it. I grew up in a place far away. And in the 90s, it wasn't quite like what it has become today. But my son and me started collecting when he was probably like 7. We started with Pokemon.
Nice.
Still in Pokemon, and then Sportscards and One Piece. Obviously in 2022, when One Piece started, we started collecting One Piece.
That's
So
early.
we collect. We've been
What's
going.
One Piece?
One Piece is a Japanese anime comic. It started as a comic and then a Japanese like cartoon anime, and then bridged into actually. We could do a whole podcast on this, but they released a few different trading cards from '99 to in 2022. The trading card game started, and now it's one of the most played games. So there's tournaments and things like that. But the cards, this is a One Piece card.
Ooh.
The cards.
That's a great one.
Really the
Auto.
that's the Dodger card. That's
Monkey, Duffy,
So-
Luffy.
Monkey.
Monkey
Luffy.
D. Luffy.
Luffy.
Monkey Luffy.
That's
Yeah.
a really
Auto.
cool card. It's
Auto.
the Dodgers.
One of 9,000.
One of 9,000. It's
What's
not
the
autographed, but
backstory on that card?
this is the Dodger Knight One Piece card.
Yeah.
So last year,
So sweet.
and the next Dodger Knight One Piece is July 2nd. They'll do another card. This card went nuts. You go into the Dodger game, you got this card. It was probably $500 on eBay that week. Now it's a $4,600 card in a PSA 10, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what the modern cards kind of look like. But there are vintage, and I and my brother, who also collects, we have probably the biggest vintage collection of One Piece cards in the world.
Damn.
And so we've become very, very deep in One Piece vintage and the history and the chronology of One Piece and their cards as they were released over the years until 2022 with the modern cards, which we also have a big
Yeah.
collection of modern.
And you say you got in 2022. I feel like that's pretty early considering most people got in within weeks
Yeah.
of like just today. Like people are just catching on. So that's really neat that you're kind of starting that early.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's insane what the market of One Piece has done.
It's been crazy.
But it's not crazy, if we look at Pokemon, if you think about Pokemon built the roads, did the plumbing, built the electric, and now the culture of trading cards, this will adopt as fast as it has because of that.
Absolutely. No, we've seen kind of the same pipeline. And
By
now,
the way, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. When we have One Piece drops, it just goes insane at the store.
Yeah.
By the way, they have them in my front yard. Just they drop it off.
Yeah.
It's One Piece. No, that's
Yeah,
dumb.
and you have to pick it
But by
up.
the way, it's kids that get you into it.
Yes.
Yes.
So I was into it for years, fell off, and then I thought I'm going to buy a complete set. And then once my second son was born, 2 complete sets for every year, and they have no interest, and they're not worth anything.
Sad.
They're not.
Yeah.
But my kids, I bought them Pokemon cards in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They had hundreds upon hundreds. My wife of yore gave them to the kid across the street.
Oh.
Lucky
of them.
kid.
And even back then, like you forget the value of it. Emotionally, my kids were so mad. They were so mad. My mom, 1969, 70, 71 Topps cards. I had, you know how at Baskin Robbins they have those tubs that the ice cream's in?
Right.
Well, when they're done, you rinse them out. They're great. So I had 3 tubs of those cards. And my mom sold each tub. And I'll give you a guess. Whoever gets closest, I'll admire. No, so take a guess of how much each tub went for.
And what year did she sell it?
Well, she sold it in 74, 73 in our garage sale.
Each tub?
Yeah, in
a
our
dollar.
garage. Dollar, okay?
50 cents.
50 cents.
$2.
You would be the closest.
Whoa.
25 cents.
Wow.
25 cents.
God.
Because her was like, here's paper.
Right.
I was so upset. I was upset in the moment. My mom in the garage. I'm like, yes, we're moving to Florida. I can hear those. Yes, no, that's a good deal. We're moving to Florida. You'll buy us a house someday, won't you?
Yeah,
That's
it's
In other words, didn't take
insane.
that.
But
Yeah.
what would all these cards be worth if they were all saved and they were all saved
well,
in
by the
pristine
way, let's
condition?
even say the condition, all the cards that I have, we're looking at least 25 grand, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Pokemon cards,
I
don't even
mean,
venture to
I didn't
guess.
wanna think
And they
about
were in
that.
nice
It makes me
condition
sick.
because Pokemon cards were easier because of the way they were made to stay in better condition than normal baseball cards. So that plasticky kind of feel. And lo and behold, that one, really, who knows what rare one was in that? So that could be anywhere from 25 grand to 250 grand to 2.5 million.
That's right.
You don't know.
That's right.
Yeah.
With the early 2000s Pokemon, I would bet it's probably more like $1 million.
Yeah, it's
Million
crazy.
dollars.
Yeah, I understand none of it though.
And I love that we're talking Pokemon and One Piece right now because historically Cardfathers know nothing about that. So this
Yeah,
is really
this,
fun.
this is educational
But
to
what
me.
have you learned in the past few years about TCG?
That it sells really well.
That's what I was going to say. That it sells really well. And I bet you all those people waiting in line, mostly Pokemon.
A good
Yep.
chunk.
Yeah.
Good chunk.
Huge
Yeah.
chunk.
Pokemon doesn't grade well.
It
No.
depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but historically, no.
What's the flaw that generally keeps them from grading well?
Centering, and the cards are flimsier. Like One Piece grades really well. If you look at the gem rate on like One Piece, the cards are better quality. So they grade better.
Oh, okay. So I was
Yeah,
wrong when I said that they keep their quality, or back then they did.
No, the Pokemon cards in relationship to the old sports cards do grade better. So you weren't wrong.
Okay.
So you were right about that. But
Yeah.
coming all the way to like now with One Piece and with a couple of other different TCG cards, they vary. But One Piece has gotten it right as far as like the quality of the card.
So One Piece is a company?
Bandai is the
Bandai.
company that does One Piece, but they got the cards right. So
Yeah,
for
and
whatever
they're
reason, I mean,
gorgeous.
you can 10 a One Piece card way
Easy.
more often than a Pokemon card.
Yeah.
So this is a good question. I think Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Are Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards. What do those go for?
Yu-Gi-Oh, vintage Yu-Gi-Oh is still good. And then some modern Yu-Gi-Oh, they're trying to get more. They're getting more competitive and trying to create some like rarities so that they're becoming a little more collectible.
Yeah.
And they're nostalgic for a lot of people at a certain age group.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's in Magic's doing that too. Like for me, Magic is the most played game, and is a forever game that will always have like credibility and respect.
Yeah.
But collectability, for whatever reason, culturally, it hasn't been as like Pokemon owns trading card games, the TCG
Yeah.
space. Like Pokemon is king, and One Piece has been the first thing that's come along that's I think emerged as like a competitor with Pokemon in the sense of like people who collect Pokemon, a lot of them are now diversifying and getting some One Piece.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
in
It's probably
relation-
just great IP.
So this is last year's Dodger?
That's last year's Dodger
Yeah.
game.
So this year's Dodger game, it'll be sold out because of this?
One 100%.
And
And there'll be
100%.
guys with cash buying cards
Outside
off
the door.
people
For
like
unsuspecting
the flippers.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like
Don't know.
$2,000 for this card.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Your
yeah.
great grandma?
Is this yours? Like actual card? Did you buy it from?
No, this is y'all's.
Oh, that's,
Oh, okay.
oh,
I'm
you
like,
just
did you go to a
sampled.
game and grade
I
it?
almost brought cards, but I wasn't
Yeah,
sure. I was
sure.
gonna bring vintage cards. There's the insanity of the scarcity of the vintage. In 2005, the first English One Piece TCG is a game they created, came out. It was called The Quest Begins. And then in 2006, there was Passage to the Grand Line. Those were the first 2 years of English One Piece cards. And then it got canceled. It didn't do well.
had no idea those
didn't know
existed.
that
Yeah,
either.
so the cards are very rare. There's probably 100 in 2005. The chase card is this gold rare Luffy. You can pull up a graphic, edit it in here.
Yeah.
That card is so scarce. There's probably 150 of them printed, and then how many of them survived? I think there's probably 40 graded, maybe 50, and there's just not a lot of them.
Damn.
So the really deep One Piece people, these are like the rookie cards, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The very first English One Piece card was a promo card, the PRO01 card, which again you can pull up a graphic, put it on the screen. There's only 33 of those graded. There's 2 PSA 9s. There's no PSA 10s. So it's like because it came in a magazine. So it's very like scarce and hard. So people who are collectors of this, those are grails.
Is that your grail specifically, or do you have a different one?
My grail is probably the gold rare Luffy. I do have several copies of the PRO01 because I've been hunting them for like the last year.
Huge.
Buying every one that I find. But I also have the tournament cards, which are even more scarce because there was one English tournament, and tournament cards in One Piece are the biggest cards. And then the Japanese cards from 1999, which is Hyper Battle. I have the rookie Luffy. I have several copies of that. Rookie Zoros, all the rookie cards, which would like the first hollows of each key character. If you think of like a Charizard, right? The first edition, that's what this Luffy would be. And then the tournament cards, the Japanese tournament cards, and the
I've seen
Japanese
those.
promo cards. So there's a rabbit hole to go down there. I would bore you guys. I could talk about this for 2 hours.
Well, I have a question
Yeah.
in relation to this.
Yeah.
So what is the world of the Marvel cards, Marvel Chrome, Disney cards? Are they the next thing to go like this, or is there not that amount of interest, or how does that work?
Marvel, definitely not. I wouldn't say. I mean, at least from what I'm seeing about like the collectability, I think
Right.
there's a very niche audience for that. Disney has been definitely on the rise though, like Disney Topps Chrome. Anything with Mickey Mouse on it, you just like 10x the price on those kind of cards. But are you a Disney collector at all?
No.
No, Marvel.
But I it's more niche in the sense of like Disney's such a universe that if you collect Disney, there's so much more to collect than cards. It's not that the cards aren't collectible; they are, and there are cards that sell for a lot. But I would say when you think about like what makes a market for a certain IP and trading cards, it's one I think is a game. Playability is
Yeah.
really, and Lorcana people like the game, but for some reason it doesn't play as well as One Piece. One Piece just plays really well, so the tournaments are exciting. The tournament cards people win are these serialized cards. They sell for a lot of money, so players win and sell their cards, and that's like a huge deal for these players. They're selling a card for 20 grand if they win, and that's a life-changing amount of money for them. And so there's something about the game and the culture around the game that provide the market with enough that other people start collecting as well. So I don't know what it is, but Pokemon and One Piece for somehow, some way mirrors Pokemon. And that's why I think it's also, if you put it on a board and you saw a chart, the growth would look a lot like Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
And there's something about, that's why I would bet on One Piece the same way I bet on Pokemon.
So
15 years ago.
rookie Incredible Hulk It's not that good.
No.
It's
And I don't say that joking because I'm sure there's a card in there that's the equivalent to the Hulk rookie.
it's a specific buyer that would buy that card. They're out there, but
Yeah.
it's not as liquid as say.
Well, what about 60s Marvel cards?
Those are
And
valuable
60s
in good
Planet of the
grades.
Ape cards and Batman cards because I collected those as a kid.
Those are valuable in good grades to specific buyers. That's what I
Yeah.
would say. So
You know-
harder to sell.
You know, Joel, I talk to the higher ups over at Fanatics Tops, and I talk about the fact that when there's a release, whether it's One Piece, whether it's Pokemon, people will circle this building and get here at 6 in the morning the 6 o'clock the night before, and I'm like, how do we do that with sports cards? You know, and it just amazes me the size of the Pokemon market. And everyone thinks the sports is so big, and they don't understand that it's dwarfed by the gaming community.
It is. I'll tell you why I think. I think that the price point to get in for new sets is more affordable. So
1000%.
It's more accessible, and there's always a chase card that's worth like off the get in Pokemon, right? You get the let's say like prismatic, that Pikachu. It was $2,500. Second, third week it came out.
Wow.
So people are racing to get a $200 or $150 or a $300 box, and they have a shot at that. And what happens is I think it's accessible for the people who want to play that game, and then there are people who just collect. And all in, I think there's an accessibility around pricing of the product that also I think nostalgia. So I do think that like something about Pokemon is nostalgic for
A certain group of certain age.
And then with sports, the chases emerge over time. So it's a guy, a rookie this year, just became the rookie this year because he did something last week.
Right.
Versus you leading up to the release of a Pokemon set or a One Piece set, they show you the chase cards, and you have 3 months you're staring at this card when
Right.
waiting for it to come out, and then you rush in to try and chase that card. With sports, a rookie could get injured, and that's no longer a chase card.
Sure.
So, there's a lot of.
Pokemons don't get injured.
Exactly,
Except
they
for
don't-
Pikachu once broke his color.
He did.
He was blue for a while.
Yes.
But he's back to yellow.
You actually know some stuff about music, but that's the problem with sports. There's a lot of variables
Yes.
that
So
change
that's
the market.
why I remember going into a sports shop, Sports Source 2.
My friend Mike, sure.
Yeah, Mike's place.
Oh, yeah, I
And
remember that place.
Yeah, it's still open.
Okay.
Yeah, just letting you know I
Yeah.
remember that place. I don't want to screw him and go, yeah, missed out a long time ago. But anyhow, in the case, I had my choice of a Zion Williamson rookie card for $3,000
Oh,
and
no.
a Jordan rookie graded 7 for $3,000. And one thing I knew for sure, it's like, really?
Yeah.
And I was proven right because of the injuries. Why would somebody buy a Zion Williamson? He says most people would.
Yeah.
And that to me is the gambling aspect. And also, he referred to the silent majority of people who collect just because they love cards. So, of course, the Jordan, I was like, no. And then I didn't realize what would happen to that card after the Last Dance aired 3 weeks later.
Sure.
It doubled.
Yeah.
3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And I still have it. And I also got my 8 here. I traded this is the dumbest trade, but a great trade, but a horrible trade. At the time, it was a great trade, and that was I traded a 101 Ohtani, not rookie,
Right.
from that set where it's like all 101s, and I figured there's tons of 101s of Ohtani, depending. But a rookie I would have never traded, but I traded a 101 Ohtani, which was worth about $10,000 or whatever, for a grade 8 Jordan, which I have,
Right.
which is always going to steadily rise.
Sure.
But I know that Ohtani had to have tripled.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
More than that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
And, it's one of those things where in baseball we have Shohei Ohtani, but there's very few global sports superstars in sports. Once you get past like Messi, Ronaldo, Jordan, and all that, TCG is global, whereas sports cards are more U.S. centric, and I think that's the other
Yeah,
thing.
Otani's the only one who probably Ichiro before him.
Yeah.
Otani is like a miracle. It's like saying if Babe Ruth was from Sweden,
Right.
or London, whatever. It's a freaky thing because that's the only person you can compare Otani to.
Sure.
Is Babe Ruth, but Otani, I mean, my God, the sports never see. Actually, I think sports in general, all the sports cards have never seen anything like Otani.
Sure, but then you magnify it with TCG and the characters.
Oh no! By the way,
it's
that whole
staggering.
world blows away.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you make most of your money from the Pokemon.
Well, the
world
funny,
now.
no, that we sell more sealed product
Yeah.
of TCG than we do all sports combined.
Yeah.
But the fact that a lot of it's an affordable price point, our revenue is more with sports. But as far as the volume, whether it's the pack, the boost, or the box, whatever type of thing it is, it's
Well, that points
it's
out
pretty
to
crazy.
your meeting with the what do you call them, the upper whatever
Yeah.
of Fanatics.
Sure.
Put out an affordable product with chase cards
Yeah.
of people like Otani, people who've proven, Mike Trout,
Yeah.
Judge. Do an affordable product with chase cards of those guys.
Sure.
And you're talking about a line around the building.
Right.
You're-
Yeah.
a line around the building.
Yep.
That's what it would take. So here, I thought of it right now.
There you go. Yeah, but that's the holy grail for our industry and for my store obviously as well, is to try to find a way to replicate that kind of popularity into the
Hold
sports
on.
space. And I think it's
just
totally.
I just gave you the answer. Why are we even discussing it further?
You know what? I'm
You
going
need
to
to go-
I'm going to call up Michael Rubin right now. We figured it out.
Well, I'll tell you why.
No,
I
isn't
think.
that, by the way, do you agree with that idea?
Not completely.
Oh, good, because I want to.
So what happened with sports in the 80s and 90s was the overprinting. That's
Yes.
why they're not worth anything.
Sure.
And with TCG, they can print more if they keep their chase cards rare. And so because of the accessibility of the product, more people are in Pokemon, right? And then I would even say One Piece is more competitive than most sports, right? But sports is printing less, therefore they charge more because they had to flip the market. They had to right side it, right? Because it was upside down in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. They overprinted and they all kind of became, it became worthless mostly.
Yeah.
So when you think of like, when you go to a yard sale and you see baseball cards, most of it you're seeing is 80s and 90s because
Yep.
there's so much of it.
Right.
Now they're printing less so that it's more valuable, and therefore they have to charge more. Therefore, I'll tell you this: Topps is not sitting on a bunch of product they can't sell.
Right.
That's why that's why the prices continue to rise, because they can sell it. And
Well, that's what I was saying in our last episode about their business people. But I was only talking about the line around the block factor.
Right.
So what you're basically saying is it'd be a half block line with the baseball.
it
It
would
would not be a full block.
With baseball, less people are, again, because there's not one identifiable chase in each set like there is in Pokemon. Less people are anticipating it. Less people want to show up on the day.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. You have whatever chase card that is a chase card, but it's an affordable product. Like Upper Deck is doing that with hockey.
Yeah.
They're putting out the same sort of debut patch thing.
Sure.
But in their, I believe it's the regular Upper Deck.
All right. Topps
thing.
is doing the same thing with Rookie Patch, but to
and,
your
and
point,
with mangas and with all these different kabooms and all these different cards, they do that.
yeah.
The problem is that the players develop. So they do these kabooms, and then one of them pops off, and it's usually a year later or 2 years later. So it's not quite as
It's a guarantee because they're not real.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Pokemon, unless there is a land that I don't know about where they're real. By the way, do you ever? Okay, so you're in concert. You're on the road.
Yes, yes.
Do you ever go? hold on, everybody, and start talking about this stuff?
No.
Captive audience.
But I
Yeah.
guarantee you, you travel the world, so
Yes.
you've been in just hundreds of stores. I would
Everywhere.
imagine.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I go. I always go to shops. I still do it. I just did it in. I was in Ohio playing Sonic Temple. It's a big rock festival, and I went to Midwest Cards.
Oh yeah,
And
sure.
great shop.
Yeah.
And ripped. And we now we shoot things. We have a bunch of different. I have a media company with magazines and all kinds of stuff, and we shoot content. And I make the content around trading card stuff because I love it, and it's the most fun thing I do in this world of like making content and stuff is trading cards, because I love going to shows, I love going to shops, I love talking to collectors, I love all the niches, and it's never boring. So I've been all over the world, and some places are better than others. I mean, LA is to me the mecca for trading cards.
100%.
But there's a lot of great shops across the country.
Most definitely. I'm totally jealous of that. Obviously, I'm stuck here most of the time.
Well, you
but
made this a pretty nice place to be stuck.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
Joel. But I love
And you know,
going
they have
to.
a new room in back. Old West Collectibles. They have the greatest Spurs collection. You have
Is that
Spurs.
right? Spurs.
Yes, you have so many Spurs, and they put never mind. Again, trying to be
famous
funny.
cowboy hat.
Not good.
Yeah.
Didn't land. Chuckles, but didn't land.
Famous,
and I couldn't even finish it. That's how bad it
They
was.
have the wall of famous movie mustaches,
Oh, yeah.
fake mustaches
Old
that
West
were worn in
collectibles.
My
specific
granddaughters
movies.
collected those for years.
That landed, by the way.
Well, that one just flew out of my mouth.
I served that up for you.
But I'm
to be
jealous
honest.
of the fact
We're a
that
good team.
I play drums in a band, just like local guys, and we have,
What's
we have a
Hold
lot of
on.
fun.
What's
What's
the
happening
name of
is-
the band here?
You'll love the name of the band, Joel.
Oh,
Right.
Cardboard Junkies.
Cardboard
Oh,
Junkies.
really?
That's the name of the band.
But you want to know what it was before
Just
that?
taking, making light of drug abuse. I'm just kidding.
Oh, by the way,
The addiction
I'm
hold
kidding.
on.
Yes, of course, I'm
Back to
kidding.
my name for the show.
What's that? Yeah.
Touch 'em all,
Yeah.
including Pokemon.
There
so it's
you
not
go.
just the basics.
Not just
like
sports.
everything. Touch 'em all. Do you want Burbank Sports Cards Presents or Touch 'em all with Burbank Sports Cards? I don't even need my name in the title.
I would call it Cardboard Junkies and promote the band and have
There
one of
you
your
go.
songs.
But if I may,
going global.
hold
We're
on.
Yeah, going global.
I agree
Now
with you.
opening for Good Charlotte.
If I'm being selfish. If I'm being selfish.
No, I agree with that, if you will. But the problem is that's a term that's been used so many times.
Right.
In terms of, I guarantee somebody already has a podcast.
Yeah.
I guarantee there's a website, because I know there is.
Yeah.
And so.
Sammy, look that up.
I would just call it Burbank Sports Cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have a card show.
We do.
You have a
You
shop.
just had, right?
Sure.
You have,
Yeah.
a,
Just
you have
tease-
a flagship store,
Yeah.
The only
right?
store.
And
Yeah.
and this is the with this interneting and all this content and stuff. What I would only suggest is don't make another mountain you have to climb. Building
Good
this
point.
brand is the mountain you're climbing, right?
That's a great
Burbank
point.
Burbank Sports Cards means something in cards, right? And it's taking you how long to build it? Decades, right?
Yeah.
So what I would do is keep doubling down on that brand because you own it.
Yeah.
In all sincerity, I'm successful enough. So what I'm saying to you is you want to call it the Burbank Sports Cards Podcast.
With Jeff Garlin.
No, I don't want that at all. I'm here as long as it brings me
I love
joy.
just bouncing the ideas. This
It's
is
fun.
so
Worthwhile
cool.
conversation.
Yeah.
And you just got to go around.
No, we're
and
having it
around
on the air. I
Yeah.
swear to God.
And
We
I love
started
it.
last
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
If you only heard the ones that was sent.
And everybody listening is in their car or in their office or whatever, chiming in. They're all going, "Well, I think
All
I
right,
should go."
well, I actually have a name.
Oh boy.
It's a name that was dropped and should be picked up again, and that's the Washington Football Club or the Utah Hockey Club.
I like
Okay.
that name.
So the
That's my
Burbank,
team, by the way.
which Utah?
Yeah.
I went to a game.
No, Washington.
Washington.
You really thought Utah was like
Oh, I don't know. By the way, the Mammoth is a great game.
another
fan.
Utah fan.
No.
That makes sense.
Wow.
But by the
There's
way,
a club of us that
by
hang
the
out
way,
on Thursday.
things are looking up in your world. They really are.
They are.
And
Jaden's
so-
gonna do it too.
Well, no, Jaden's great.
He's the man.
But Caleb Williams is better.
Kayla, listen.
Caleb Williams is the most remarkable quarterback. The only guy I could ever say is the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback has done some amazing things, but I think Caleb's possibilities are jaw-dropping. However,
I
Jim
agree.
Daniels, I think, is on a Hall of Fame track
Yeah.
if he can do it. But Caleb Williams, I don't even understand.
Yeah.
Like I watched. The
I'm a
things
fan
he
of
did.
both.
Oh yeah. By the way,
I
me
love
too.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I mean, if
I
you're a
collect
football
Caleb
fan,
Williams, yeah.
how could you not love
Yeah.
Caleb Williams? But wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what I've gotten to witness. And do you know he collects Yu-Gi-Oh only?
Really?
Interesting.
No, I just made that up.
I
But-
believed
Makes
you.
sense.
All the time.
Every
Yeah, when you
day.
gave it to me with the
Really?
Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Utah.
We have a club on Thursday nights.
Which, by the way, the Utah Mammoth would probably have a club out here on Tuesday night.
Probably.
Yeah, but whereas I don't think the Redskins, I think the Redskins are just everybody's a club. Is there a bar in L.A. that's a Redskin bar?
There is somewhere in
Oh,
Santa
I'm sorry,
Monica.
saying Redskin. The
I still answer to Redskins.
But I know because look, I'm 60. I'm going to be 64 years old. The majority of my life, I've had this team named. But
Great,
by the way,
burned in your-
I do
Agree,
and
yeah,
respect
of
the
course.
change. So
By
it's
the
not
way,
like
everyone in DC does too, but
Right.
like we all feel like also just the name was the name for as long
Well,
as
by
it,
the way, the Washington Football Club, is that what they call themselves?
I like that name.
Oh no, that was an awesome name.
I don't know why they changed it.
I don't know why they changed
Like,
it.
that
the
was
Commanders.
to me,
Give me a.
like when they called it the Washington Football Club. To me, it was like a really cool way of acknowledging like
Oh.
we agree we had. Like, we agree for all the reasons you want us to change our name,
Right.
that we had the wrong name, and we're not going to give it another name. We're going to call it the Washington Football Club. Like, to me, that was cool.
The Washington Football Club, if you were only called that, I'd become a fan.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've been a lifelong fan.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
what a great team to be a lifelong fan of.
It looks like we have
Amazing.
some real prospects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's
exciting.
looking up
Prospects.
for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
we're gonna get that
there was a rumor
name. Yeah.
that they were going to try and draft Jordan Love, but it didn't work out that
Yeah.
way. Because if he was on that team, I don't know what anybody could do to stop that offense.
Yeah.
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 It's,
It's,
a great, it's my team.
and when
Yeah.
I was younger, it was the Joe Gibbs era.
Yeah, yeah.
And they
Oh,
had the
come on, man.
hogs.
Of
course.
I was there during the Sonny Jurgensen era, man.
There you go.
I just
Remember Art Monk?
Art Monk, of
Oh,
course.
my- so
Yeah,
underrated.
yeah, Art
So
Monk
underrated.
was just-
Criminally
Green.
underrated.
Charlie Taylor.
Daryl Green?
Yeah, Daryl Green.
Yeah.
Charlie Taylor.
Yeah.
No, I certainly know my history. Yeah, Washington Football Club.
Doug Williams?
Doug Williams.
John Riggins.
John Riggins.
John Riggins, yeah.
Post Jets.
Yeah.
Man, that
He's
guy
a dog.
was somebody to root
He was
for.
a dog, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that has a rich history, and you're so right. I never thought of that angle that Washington Football Club would acknowledge, yeah, we called it that. That wasn't the right thing to call it.
And now we're not calling it anything.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sad.
do you think there's anybody as intelligent as you working in that front office or owning it?
I
No.
find that in most offices I go in. I'm like, is anyone as smart as me here?
By the way, do you know?
Definitely the smartest
I
guy
know
in
you're
this place
saying
right
that as
now.
a
Yeah,
joke.
100%.
You know that you could walk into most offices of any corporation or any office in general. You are the most intelligent man. in
I
the
might
room.
be. I'm pretty,
Yeah, I think
pretty
they should
you
do
go.
that. The most
savant here.
Yeah,
Savant.
yeah.
Oh, the card
By the way,
savants.
You've been asked this before, but on my curiosity, did you know someone in Charlotte? She was good, or like, what is your?
No, it's the
name?
name of a book called Good Charlotte.
Oh,
Oh,
not,
really?
not Charlotte's Web.
No, it's just a
That's
book
in
called
my
Good
band.
It's like this obscure, dusty old little book that we saw, and we were like, Good Charlotte. That's a good band name.
And did anyone
I was
read it?
16.
Did anyone read the book?
Yeah,
I know, but if I
Sammy's
had a
gonna pull
band,
us
I
back
hope
real
that
quick.
we have a cool origin story for our eventual podcast name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You will,
We
you
will.
will.
Real
so
quick,
we had,
Joel, I'm going to jump in because I'm in a family business. I get to work with my daughter, my son,
Oh, that's
my
cool.
father, my
Yeah.
wife, your future husband. They're
Yes.
all here.
Yeah.
And you get to do that yourself
Yeah.
in the band and doing it with your brother. What does that mean?
It's we're a complete family business. So we have our
So
band.
it's not a kink situation.
No. So we went from being in the band to starting one company that became 2, 3 companies, and a portfolio of companies and businesses that are all family. My wife has a business. My brother, his wife has a business. We all have businesses that are all operated out of kind of the same office, essentially, and we're just a family business kind of family.
How did you do that, though? How did you decide to do that? And you use the word portfolio. You don't often see members of rock bands saying, portfolio.
It's the best way I could describe the
it was
diversity
correct.
of the
diversity,
businesses.
portfolio. So were these businesses already started
No,
before
we
the
started them after the
So
band.
did you think, what would be a good business for my wife?
I think it was more of an organic process of interest leading and then organizing around that, and it becomes a business over time. With each business, as they start to grow and you organize, me and my brother just have brains for that, and so we've continued to build like an infrastructure out that they're all kind of connected, but they are also all independent companies as well. So, but we're a family business. I think probably because we're twins and we've been partners our whole life.
Hold on, you're twins?
My brother
I
and
didn't
I.
know
Yeah.
that.
So if I'm watching the band, I'm freaking.
Yeah, like he's playing guitar, I'm singing, we look the same.
Oh my God,
That's
that
super
is
cool.
really confusing.
And it's cool. We did get a question for you from Instagram, Joel. I did like a little IG
Okay.
sticker.
Uh-huh.
But someone asked, what do you feel like is your biggest regret as a card collector? They wanted to know.
Not going in harder on Otani. I think that when you collect, you have to find things you're passionate about and then dive in. And if you, I think rarity is king, and finding the rarest version of the things you care about is the hunt you should be on.
For sure.
And I think if you markets are there to track, and as things when things go to scale, they're there to kind of show us all where we're at compared to where we were.
Absolutely.
And where things are at compared to where they were. But if you only look at the market, you're collecting wrong. So I think that
oh my God, yes. If you're only looking at the market, you are just, all right, fantasy baseball. I do very well every year. It's my league, and I make sure the rules are set. No, anyhow,
That's a lot of work, fantasy baseball.
The guys who finish, it is, but I love it. It's so
Yeah.
relaxing. The guys who finish in the last 3 or 4 spots every year are the guys who only pay attention to what stats they need.
Yeah.
So they'll trade a great player to replace, like, I need more of these. I've got plenty of that. And to me, I would say that's the same thing as just looking at the market.
Yeah, and there are very gifted statisticians out there. They're very few though. So if you are going to dedicate your life to playing stats, and that's the only way you're going to go, that's one strategy. And there's a very small percentage of people who can do that well. I think that also when something goes up and you sell right away, I think that can also be a mistake, because you might be I think to me, money's just another scorecard. I understand it if people are doing this for a living. That's one thing. I can't argue with someone who's got to pay their rent or whatever. But
ADHD, right over here, severe. Oh, I've gotten rid of many cards long before I should have.
why?
Why?
Because you didn't think it would go up further?
No. Because I was mentally ill. That was my point.
Oh, yeah,
I have
okay.
ADHD,
Yeah.
and therefore I had to do something. Something had to move.
And it's gratifying when you make that sale.
Yes,
Yeah.
in the moment.
Yeah.
But then, by the way, the number of ADHD regrets I have is endless. I couldn't even begin to count them. A lifetime.
Me too.
Well, I
Do
think
you have ADHD?
Big time.
Oh, looky, so you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, how do you do your self-control? I'm medicated.
I'm medicated as well.
Okay. Buckland?
that makes
Vyvanse.
3 of us.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. But I find that I'm into enough stuff, I can distract myself from selling.
Okay.
And I don't sell a lot. That's what
Right.
my practice, but which is also can be, if you look at it as Like the biggest mistake can be, mostly in sports, you could hold something like that Zion,
Right.
and then it's kind of worthless a few years later.
Yeah, it's probably worth
versus-
like $1,000 now.
Yeah.
which is
Not
giving
close.
not even.
Yeah.
Way less.
20 bucks.
Really, not
But-
$20, but
That market is so hard. There's so many variables.
that's a great example, Zion Williamson.
There's a great
because he was
there's
as hot
more
as can
examples
be.
of a Zion than there is of an
1000%.
Ohtani.
No
Oh, yeah.
doubt.
And there,
no
or,
doubt.
so that's a tough one because I'm not a sports collector expert. I have some decent sports cards. Got some really ones I love. Like I have that. Me and my son, we our personal collections together, right? So we discuss everything. And he also has a business, so he goes to shows, he sells, he trades, you know. So he's much more in the day to day of sports and what the market's doing and all that.
Because he has a business.
Yeah.
that's
And so he's
awesome.
living in it every day and he does very well. But then we have some cards where I'm like, we have a 101 Mookie Betts rookie auto.
Wow.
Very kind of hard to find one of those because there's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
And like how many 101 Mookie Betts rookie autos are there out there? I don't think they did a lot
Only
at that
16.
time.
Only 16.
Probably, right?
By the way, I say that as a joke, but with the way the market is, who the hell? That's why I traded that Ohtani card.
Yes.
A 101, like 4 years into his career.
Yeah.
So I was like, how many?
So-
that was my reason for selling. It was like, there's 90 of them probably.
So our conversation, let's say around this card, we have a really decent sports card collection, and there's some cards that they're valuable. And I go, why wouldn't we sell the Mookie Betts 101 in a peak time when 101s sell for big numbers? Number one for him, he's my favorite player.
Oh no, that is exactly what we're talking about
I'm
here.
holding something of
If
his
it was
that
mine was an Ernie Banks even fourth year 1/1 autograph, and it was going for 100,000, I'm not selling it.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
yeah.
Personal
number
attachment.
two, he's like, how much did we pay for the card?
Right.
Right.
It was nothing at the time.
Yeah.
It was
I got that
$1,000
Ohtani out of a box.
Yeah.
Not to say it was $1,000 is nothing,
Yeah.
but compared to what it's probably worth,
Sure.
I don't even know what that card's worth. But he's like, his argument is that it's there are some things, and I agree with it. That's why I respect it. You collect for emotional. It's emotional. I love
Absolutely.
this,
Sure.
and I want to hold it.
Well, I think personally, getting back to the word regret, I think that if you haven't been in this hobby, everyone has regrets. And
yeah.
And I mean, as a store owner and some of the collections that I bought going back decades, thinking to myself, if I only kept that, but if I kept it all, I wouldn't have all these other things, you know? So it's one of those things where that's just part of the hobby.
It's part of the hobby.
And I just, as a retail store owner, we buy it, we sell it pretty much almost in real time, and some go up, some go down, and that's just part of the game.
Speaking of opening boxes, potentially just to tie up this episode, do you want to open
I'll
some of
open.
those packs that you have
Yeah,
there?
I'll open. So
Let's do
What do we
it.
got?
I got a box. The reason that this Series 1
Gotta open some
2026
packs here.
is, but I get to keep it. 2026 is because there's a rookie mantle in one of these.
That's the chase.
That's the
Yeah.
chase.
And by the
That's
way,
the gold card.
that's a chase I think would be around the block because that one's proven itself. All right, let me see if I got anyone.
Can't believe I'm opening these without glasses on.
Can you read
Pedro Armstrong, not a rookie, but it means something.
PCA?
There you go.
Okay.
Nice. What do we get?
Peyton Toll,
Okay.
promising. Brady House, is it? Yeah, he plays.
Yeah.
All
What do
right,
we get
I
over
got-
here? Who's this?
We got Mackenzie Gore.
Nice.
Is that your best card? Mackenzie
No.
Gore's here, so it just shows you how
Not my
it's
best
such
card.
a thing. And I saw
some base.
Cubs.
Amazing. Oh.
Got-
Speaking of product, Joel, what is your prized possession as far as an unopened box goes in the TCG
Roman
world?
Anthony rookie.
There you go, Red Sox.
I have. Okay, so more mainstream. What the listeners of the show would probably would look at is probably like a Blue Bottom Romance Dawn some sealed boxes of those, OPO one, and then I have actually sealed a bunch of sealed booster boxes of the 2005 The Quest Begins and 2006 Passage to the Grand Line, which are very rare because they only printed about 2,000 booster boxes.
It's a low number.
So it's a low number. And then I have, going back to the early 1999 to 2000s, the vending. So all of the trading cards for Hyper Battle and One Piece in the early Japanese cards were vending machines.
Oh.
So I have the vending machine boxes.
That's neat.
I would think in your position you'd have the vending machine.
I actually
actual
bought a
vending
vending machine and it's being shipped.
Not
And it's still got the vending machine cards.
Not
Wait
off
for
the
real.
bat.
You're not
And it's a
wrong.
rookie vending machine.
Yeah, it is.
That's
So
got to
look,
be
Jacob
Wow.
Mizorowski.
The
There's
Miz.
one. Okay.
Very
But even
nice.
if he goes on to a potential Hall of Fame career,
Mm-hmm.
which looks decent now, the Topps flagship one is limited to there's a ceiling.
There is a
Yeah.
ceiling.
There
you
is.
know.
You want a refractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
even a Topps Chrome.
Yeah.
Rookie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
But
fair.
it's just interesting. But it's a great pull.
What did
Yeah,
he throw?
I-
Like 57 pitches over 100 miles an hour in one game?
Yeah.
That's like the most insane stat.
No, he's so good.
He's so good.
Good. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to do an ending note here, but just want to say huge thank you to Joel. Like, this
hey
is so
Joel,
much
a
fun.
pleasure meeting you. It was
And
fun
Nice
to
to
be
meet you,
around
too.
you.
You
Thanks
brought
so
such a
much.
fun
And
TCG
you live here in
perspective.
LA?
I'm here in LA.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I'll find
So-
out specifically when we get off
Yeah, I'll
the air.
give you my address.
Although once
Do you play golf?
I'm a 9-hole guy.
Okay, I'll play 9 holes.
Okay, good. So the View, no, not the View. Regis and Kelly. I'm on Regis and Kelly and whatchamacallit from Survivor. What's the guy's name? The
Jeff
host?
Probst?
Jeff Probst.
Oh, I love him.
He's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
At least I think to me.
Yeah.
That's always the thing.
Seems
to
like
me,
a nice guy.
But he seems like a very nice guy. I've always liked him. So anyhow,
Unproblematic.
unproblematic.
Yeah.
Yes. So, look at you, most intelligent man in the room.
Easily.
Got to get your beer commercial. Anyhow, the most interesting man in the world. No, the most intelligent man in the room.
Yeah.
Different beer company could do
That's
it.
a great strat. That's a great. Are you in marketing by any chance?
By the way, that would be an area I'd be pretty good
You'd
at,
be
I
great
think,
at
if
it.
I wasn't. But I'd rather be a therapist.
You're a writer
a
for
teacher.
sure.
Right. You're
course you
right.
are.
I do now. Yeah, of course I.
Yeah, of course
I
you
have
are.
to. Being a comedian and making movies, I'm writing one right
Well,
now.
how many times have you acted in something and said, "God damn, I should have rewrote this"?
Hold on. How many times have? No, those words never come out of my mouth.
You thought it, though,
Hold
didn't
on,
you?
though. Hold on, though. I thought a similar thought processes. Like I looked at the script and I'm working. I go, God damn, why did I say yes?
Right.
That's more.
Well,
I don't want to rewrite their
well-
shit. You know.
Well, what experience does when you're in any craft is it teaches you how to do all the aspects of the craft.
Oh, most
and then
certainly.
you got some writer who's been doing it for 5 years, and maybe they had some.
No,
some,
I blame that on a lot of other people. Once I
I
did
like
a
it.
movie with Gerard Butler, and he and I were best friends. And there was a problem in the script that made no sense for our relationship. And we told the director, how it just made no sense. And the director said that I just gave up when he said this. The studio paid a lot of money for those lines. And I was like, okay, I finished the movie, but I checked out. I was just done. You know, I remember I did the Foo Fighters movie. I played their manager, and I was also
No
one of the
way.
evil entities in the movie. And I remember the Guardian, great newspaper. You know, they referred to me in that movie as phoning it in. And I did phone it in. I was excited to be there. I tried. But
These
if they
were the
looked,
lines
but if
they gave me.
But if they looked, no, that was good. And they
Okay,
would let me
okay,
improvise. But on the flip side, that other movie, I was phoning.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I'm like, nah, you know.
Yeah, you know we're not phoning
but
it in,
I wanted
though.
to say, I know you want to
This
wrap it up.
podcast, yeah.
What was I talking about when it led us here? I was telling a story about the book.
The girth.
The girth of the book. I don't know. It's a story. See, I even interrupt myself.
Yeah, I like it.
And I have ADHD with myself.
It soothes me.
So, yeah, for you, it's soothing.
Yeah.
The listeners, there are a lot of people enjoying me on this podcast and a lot of people praying I lose interest.
They're praying for your downfall.
Or they're praying I phone it in.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
dare
I'm
they?
here and not, you know.
Great thing, the reviews are only little comments.
Exactly.
No
that,
longer,
that if you
no
read,
longer printed
if you
in the New York
read,
Times.
If our producer can read them and enjoy, do not tell me any comments. Good.
No.
I don't read reviews of any movies I'm in or make,
Yeah.
TV shows. Nah, because the last review I got, though, that I read was in 2007, a movie made I Want Someone to Eat Cheese With, and the New York Times gave me a great review, and I thought to myself, stop now.
I just have
Stop
one of my
now.
minions read them to me when I'm falling for bedtime.
When they're good,
Minions.
when they're good, yeah.
When you're falling
Because no matter what quality of work you're putting out, somebody don't like it.
Of course.
True,
of
that's
course.
true. But leave a positive review in the comments, hopefully, if you're listening to this.
That was so much fun, by the way.
This is the best. This is the best. But again, huge thank you. And like bringing the TCG perspective to this crowd is awesome. So
It's
yeah.
it's very, as you guys have acknowledged, it is one of the factors of the growth of collecting and cards. And now, like with trading cards and sports cards and collectibles being treated like assets, which they are now, it's taken decades to get there.
Yeah.
And a big part of that culture is One Piece, Pokemon. It's the TCG part of this hobby. So, and it's important because you think that right now there's a guys my son's age that like One Piece, that watch the anime.
Mm-hmm.
You think when they're 35 they're not going to be collecting rare One Piece cards
with their kids.
their kids, and so I think it's a great acknowledgement because I go to the shows, I see Pokemon, I see One Piece, I see where the market is on paper, and then it's in the streets, and that's where it happens
Are there
first.
shows
Absolutely.
specifically just for Pokemon, or
Oh, yeah.
are there all?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just at one this weekend.
Were you at the West Coast?
Yeah,
card
I was at
show?
West Coast.
What? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
We're totally
That
there.
is-
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can easily say this, that we wouldn't have taken the big swing of moving into a Rite Aid without TCG. And I think a lot of shop owners across the country would not have experienced the growth in their businesses organically through sports like they have by bringing a TCG component into their shops. And many of them could be kicking and screaming to doing it. And I wasn't originally, I'm a sports guy, so I didn't get it. But I can honestly say that we would not be in this building without TCG.
As a matter of fact, what you're saying, I've experienced that. There's a card guy I know in Chicago, card shop.
Yeah.
And he has a guy that I went in a few times, and he knew nothing of what I was talking about. Do you have this? Do you have those boxes? What do those go for? How about a rookie Bubba? I don't know who that is. And I said to my friend, what the hell is going on? He goes, no, he's a Pokemon expert.
Right.
He goes, for my business, I have to have him here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
That makes sense.
But I was like going, oh, okay, because I thought he just hired poorly.
Yeah.
No, it's good. But
That's
yeah,
true.
our last episode was a lot of vintage. Now we got a lot of Pokemon, One Piece. So thanks to everyone that are listening, and we'll see you for the next one.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Thank
Joel.
you for being here.
Yeah,
that was
thanks.
awesome.